Good morning, everybody. This is going to be a shorter one. This is going to focus on why I don't just read off of, stories, news stories that I pulled up. It mostly has to do with the fact that, one, most of these news sites aren't news anymore. I mean, they're essentially all tabloid media at this point. They're all magazine trash. All right. But more importantly, I tried to pull up a story today and I shit you not. My GPU almost had a fucking seizure trying to load up all of the ads and forced in videos and all of this shit. I didn't even get a snapshot of how much actual scripting there was behind this site, but my god, trying to pull up a news story these days. I mean, it's worse than the prawn sites. The prawn sites don't advertise this hard. All right. How many people? I realize running a news venture might not exactly be the cheapest thing to do, especially if you send people overseas and you do, actual live reporting instead of pulling a CNN and just setting up a green screen on a roof. Anyway, give me just a moment. I realize it's not exactly the cheapest venture, but how many people are you paying six figures to write articles with ChatGPT to have to litter your news site with so many ads that you literally make my GPU have a fucking heart attack? Like, what the fuck has the world come to? This is a joke. This is a joke, and this is the thing. I'm not sitting on the latest and greatest hardware, and honestly, I'm not sure I ever will with RAM prices and the GPU prices. But that being said, I'm not sitting on the best equipment, but I know for a fact that if I pull up any of the old Linux machines of the past, there is literally no way in hell that the older processors, all right, just imagine a normal like notebook without an actual GPU, like an integrated graphics chip. Um, there is no way in hell it would be able to process any of that. Honestly, I know that Google, in particular, is not a fan of people using ad blockers. And I know a large push for, I think it was Web v3 or some shit, was to essentially try to disable ad blockers. But honestly, at this point, if you literally have to litter a website with that much advertising for a news story, all right, and it, mm, if you have to, if you feel the need to do that, your business model is flawed. Go out of business. All right. That's the honest to God truth. When you need no script, ad blocker, and probably two more ad blockers and two rip-offs of no script in order to even load a page, that's horrific. I'm sure that's how bad it is. If I were to boot up one of my old Linux machines, I'm sure it would take a year and a day to try to load that page. This is unreasonable. All right. And I know I've heard people talk about the idea that, the future we go into is every web page is a gig of data or more. And it's just like, no, 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 no. Um, Websites do not need to be a gigabyte of data per page. All right. But think about all the rich text and all the interactions you can harvest and everything else. Think about the metadata you can pull from that. Not everybody needs metadata. Not everybody needs the massive levels of analytics. I don't care I don't care. As if data harvesting wasn't bad enough. I mean, the fact that you literally I couldn't even count the amount of ads that tried to load up for that page. All right. And this is common source for news. I couldn't even count the amount of ads before I'm like, okay, no, I'm not sacrificing my GPU at the altar of we need to make more revenue. All right. I'm just not doing it. The modern internet is a joke. All right. Modern news sites are a joke. There's nothing more I can add to that. It's just the observation that this is pathetic. This is honestly, I've never even seen it that bad. I know inflation's killing everybody, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time.